Thank you for tuning in. This is the Rice Crypto Show, and I'm your host, Rice. And on today's episode, I am joined by Bobby Lee, who is the founder and CEO of Ballet. He also founded the very first cryptocurrency exchange in China in 2011 with BTCC, and he is also the brother of Charlie Lee, who is the creator of Litecoin. Now, before we get into today's episode, this happens to be your first time ever checking out any of my videos, I do encourage you to explore my channel. Make sure you're subscribed, smash that like button, hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with my videos as they come out. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon channel and follow me on Library where I post exclusive content, and I will provide links down below. And we're just going to go ahead and get right into today's video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, today I am joined by Bobby Lee, who is the founder and CEO of Ballet. Bobby, I appreciate you coming on the show. How you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you, Chris, for having me on.
Thank you again. I really appreciate your time because I know you're a busy guy, even amongst everything going on with the coronavirus. So thanks again for your time. Now, I mean, you have a pretty interesting background. You've been in cryptocurrency for quite some time. I know that you founded the very first cryptocurrency exchange in China, BTCC. Your brother happens to be Charlie Lee, who's the creator of Litecoin. Other than that, for people who might be unfamiliar with who you are, do you mind kind of giving them a little bit of background on who Bobby Lee is?
Sure. So I'm Chinese American. So I was born in a small country in West Africa, Ivory Coast. So I grew up there for many years. To high school, came to the U.S. for high school. That was in New Jersey. Charlie and I went to the same boarding school in Jersey called Lawrenceville, and then went to Stanford for college, studied computer science, and then essentially I was in the Bay Area working at Yahoo for 8 years after Stanford, and then moved to China in 2006, 2007. So that's when I started my tech career in China. I've been in tech all my life. And also, you know, in terms of Bitcoin, I've been a gold bug, been investing in gold for almost 20 years now. So when Charlie and I heard of Bitcoin in 2011, he was the first one who told me about it, early 2011. We immediately got intrigued about, you know, what's the idea of a digital currency? Why would that be something innovative? Don't we already have digital currencies? You know, and it turns out what we had were centralized digital currencies, and Bitcoin came out to be the first decentralized cryptocurrency with a public blockchain ledger. So after learning about it, I was like, this is really cool. So I promised myself one day if I ever did a startup, I would do it in Bitcoin. So, and then fast forward, and at the time I had a job at Walmart in China doing e-commerce. And then fast forward, I think a year and a half later, after I left Walmart, I was looking for a job, and that's when the light bulb went off, saying, "Hey, maybe instead of working for large companies, I can switch and do a startup." So I approached two of my co-founders for BTC China, and got together and became CEO of BTC China, which was the first Bitcoin exchange. And then of course in 2015 we renamed BTCC. So and a lot of history, a lot of things happened in China in terms of Bitcoin ecosystem and all that. And then in 2018 we sold the company. It got acquired by a Hong Kong investment firm. So that was a little over 2 years ago. And then last year, 2019, I started Ballet. So we're the maker of a very new and innovative physical wallet called the Real Bitcoin Wallet. And so anyways, we want to try to make it drive mass adoption for crypto, because it's non-electronic and very easy to use.
Yeah, I'm super impressed with what you guys have created here. As we were talking before the interview started, I met you in Vegas where you guys had a booth set up at the Litecoin Summit. You were giving away one to all the attendees. And then you were in Miami at the North American Bitcoin Conference. And I had a chance to talk with you then because it was a lot more of a relaxed atmosphere, and had a chance to kind of check out what you guys have created. So I think it's really cool. The website says it's the world's first multi-currency, non-electronic physical wallet. So it's 100% offline cold storage. And it's a really durable card for one. It's actually,
Yeah,
it's really heavy. It's a lot heavier than I thought it would be because it's,
that's right.
it's almost
It's the
like
size
three
of a
credit
credit
cards
card.
together.
Yeah, it's the size of a credit card, the thickness of a credit card. But it's one of those. It's made of pure stainless steel, so even better than. It's very durable. So it's some people have those fancy, platinum or these fancy American Express, whatever, black cards that are made of stainless steel. So this is kind of like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's really, really nice and heavy.
So
We made
people,
it like a credit card. Yeah, go ahead.
and I do like the fact you guys have made it like slim, like a credit card, because people are used to the whole credit card concept. So this kind of makes
Correct.
sense for people who are unfamiliar with how something like this will work. And I'll probably end up doing like a tutorial on it. But this code that you see right here, there's a sticker, and the code actually has your public key right here. So this is how you would receive funds.
We call the public deposit address, because the public key is something different. So
Okay.
this is the Bitcoin deposit address. So like you said, the QR code and the 3 rows of text underneath, that's your Bitcoin address, if you will.
Okay. And then in order for you to be able to send these funds, you would have to, at that point, expose the private key and scratch off your wallet passphrase scratch off thing, which is kind of similar to scratching a lottery card. So you have two different ways of showing that this device hasn't been tampered with, which would be the sticker. And the sticker is like, I can't show, I don't know why my green screen just came up, but it's like, it's definitely made to where if I was to peel it off, it would show that it was tampered. Like I couldn't peel it off and put it back on without seeing some sort of damage to the sticker, which I really like that, because I know that security was a little bit of a question. So before we kind of get into the security thing, like how would you describe what Ballet is to somebody who's new to cryptocurrency?
Sure. So this is a great question. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to answer it, Chris. So I've been in crypto for what is it, 9 years now? It feels like a long time. And I really, really got involved, right? So, dedicated my career to it in early 2013. So I've been one of the very early entrepreneurs and people fully dedicated to crypto since 2013. And I've run an exchange. We've built and ran a mining pool. We've had wallets that, we've had a web wallet, we've had a mobile wallet. So I've done a lot of things. I've done mining pools, custody wallets, exchanges. And of course, I've myself, since I've been in crypto for so long, I've used many other wallets as well. They're desktop wallets. The very first is a Bitcoin Core client. There's Electrum. There's all these mobile wallets, the early days. Right. And then there's a physical Bitcoins like Cassius coin. And then there are NFC wallets, NFC wallets, and of course the hardware wallets that we use today that people plug into the USB.
Like your Ledger.
Like with Bluetooth, Ledger, Trezor, the Bluetooth, and stuff like that. Right. So my point is, the reason I bring up this background is because I'm an industry insider, and I realize even as an insider, especially as an insider, that the solutions today are great for us, what I call the early adopters, the geeks. I consider myself a Bitcoin geek.
Right.
Me too. But they're not good enough for the normal people. Think of my parents, think of my cousins, think of people I meet on the street, whether it's at Starbucks, whether it's the Uber driver, people at the airport. Regular people first of all, they've heard of Bitcoin, but they don't own any Bitcoin. Well, part of it is because it's really hard to buy. So Bitcoin is hard. That's why we've exchanged local Bitcoins. We have all these different Cash App, all these different ways to buy Bitcoin. Now, I share in terms of contributing to the ecosystem for how to allow people to buy and sell Bitcoin, through my last company, BTCC. Mm-hmm. Now, with this company, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to improve the experience for normal people to hold, store, and secure their Bitcoin. All too often, people today, some people do own Bitcoin, some casual people do, and then they leave it on Coinbase. They leave it on an exchange, right? Or worse off is they have a friend buy it for them, and then they say, hey, friend, please hold it for me. And that's happened to me many times. Many of my friends whom I've convinced successfully to buy some Bitcoin as an investment, what they end up doing is say, Bobby, why don't you hold it for me? And over the early years, over the many years, I have done that. But I realized it's actually not good for either of us, because if I get hit by a bus, how will they get their Bitcoins back? If I were evil, I could run away with the Bitcoins, right? So the point is, I really want them to hold on to their own Bitcoins. At the same time, I don't recommend anyone to put their Bitcoins on an exchange. Even when I was running BTCC, I told my customers and my friends, don't leave your Bitcoins on an exchange, because there's just too many risk factors, where the exchange can go down, the business can go bankrupt. There's regulation issues. You can control what you can withdraw. There's hacking. There's hacking of the exchange itself. And differently, there's hacking of an account in an exchange. Right. So if the exchange gets hacked, the money that gets stolen might get lost. What do you call it? Shared with the company, and the company sort of fills whole. But if your account gets hacked, they can't do anything about it. For example, if someone goes into your exchange account at Kraken, at Coinbase, or BTCC, and they log in, they get past your SMS verification, your email confirmation, whatever, and then they withdraw your Bitcoin, then you are, screwed.
Yeah, basically.
So that's why, and of course, so that's one thing about, private keys, about not your keys, not your Bitcoin. I'm a big fan of that. So I really want people to hold on to private keys. But the existing solutions for people to hold on to private keys is too hard. So these devices, do I have one here? These devices, right? These hardware devices, right? Mm-hmm. Hardware wallets. They're too hard to use.
For someone who, is brand new and doesn't have any clue exactly.
Yeah, even for industry people, it takes a few hours to get it set up properly. You have to write down these 24 words of recovery seed. Where do you put that? Right? I've seen people where they put the recovery seed, they write down the 24 words, and then they make sure to write down in ink, make sure it doesn't run, make sure it doesn't get erased, it doesn't fade. And then what they do is they put it together with this thing in the drawer. Right? If they're going to put the device and the recovery seed together in the drawer, then they defeated the purpose of getting a so-called secure chip.
Right.
Right. So, and then there are issues with these where you have to upgrade the firmware, where you have to do all these things, the software, So I realized this current ecosystem solutions are sort of okay for us geeks, but they're definitely not usable by the normal people. So what I've set out to do is, with the success of Cassatius Coins and the success of BTCC Mint, which is which my company made these poker chips. I have some.
Same concept though. You would have a QR code on it, and basically like a cold storage.
Exactly. So BTCC, we made these poker chips. I can actually show. Let me see if I could show some virtual backgrounds. Yeah. So first ones were. Do you see your background?
I do.
Yeah, so these are the titanium chips, the titanium coins we made, the 1 Bitcoin. These are really fat 5 Bitcoins, the 5 Bitcoin. And then there's also very nice photo. I think it's right? Is it not?
No, it looks beautiful. Yeah, it's an awesome picture.
Yeah. So it's on this side. Yeah, so it's nice.
It says 5 Bitcoins on the bottom.
5 Bitcoin.
BTCC and then Mint on the top.
Exactly. That was our brand. We made this in 2006. It all sold out, very, very popular. And then we later made chips of different colors, and these are slower denomination, half a Bitcoin, 1/10 of a Bitcoin, 1/50th of a Bitcoin, and so on. So this is an example. Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
Of a actual BTC. So what was great about these physical chips is it was easy for us to give them to people. Right? If you buy these, you can give it to people very, very easily. Because if you think about it, something people don't realize is with Bitcoin, I'm going to go back to this. Let me just go back to, with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general, when I want to give you some Bitcoin, Chris, if I want to send you some Bitcoin, it turns out it's an interactive process. I had to get your permission to give me, so that I can get your deposit address, and then I can send you some Bitcoin. And usually when you send me your deposit address, I don't just blindly send the Bitcoins into it. I usually call you, I message you, is that really your address? Make sure it really is. It didn't get, swapped out or anything. So it's a multi-step process. So imagine if I want to give Bitcoin to my, let's say to my high school friend in New Jersey, right? Oh, wow. If he doesn't have a wallet, it's going to be like a humongous task for us to have this interaction. Right. Or even to my relative. Right. But what I can do with this is I can just put in the Bitcoin and send it to him. But these guys don't have a deposit address. There's no QR code to easily scan. So Ballet is a descendant of the physical Bitcoin, of the capacious Bitcoin of BTCC Mint. With this, instead of a round thing, we made the credit card form factor, and we put the deposit address squarely on the front. What this means is this wallet is the world's first wallet where there's no setup. Think about that. There's no setup at all. You buy it in the packaging. I don't have the packaging, but it comes in the packaging.
Yeah, I got. And since you said that, I want to let people know that we're going to be giving away 3 of these. So all you got to do is comment, and this could be coming out on Saturday the 16th. So the 23rd of May, I'll announce the 3 winners. So just comment on this video, and 3 random people will be selected to win.
Yeah. So the best part is you get this. There's no setup, and literally it's great for gifting. Then all you do is you scan the QR code. That's a Bitcoin deposit address, and you can send whatever amount of Bitcoin in there. And by the way, it takes all other currencies. You can do Litecoin, Ethereum, and all that stuff. ERC20 tokens, USDT, Zcash, Dogecoin, everything. Okay, but
real quick, you got to use the application to accept any other cryptocurrency. Then if you have a Bitcoin one, it's Bitcoin. If you have Litecoin, it's for Litecoin. But with the application that you can get on desktop and for mobile, you can actually use the other cryptocurrencies. I learned that.
Exactly. So once you load up the coins you want, then you can just literally give this to the person you want, physically hand it to them, or send it by mail, right? Or whatever you want. So now that you can crypto in an easy process with no setup, and furthermore with no permission and interaction from the recipient. You don't need them to set up their wallet and give you the address. You can say, hey, here you go, Merry Christmas, here you go, happy birthday, happy Hanukkah, happy graduations, congratulations, your wedding, happy Father's Day, Mother's Day, whatever occasion you want, you can give Bitcoin and crypto as a gift.
Okay, now you did a great job of explaining that. Now the tough question is going to come into play, and I'd love for you to explain it this way, the best way you can. And I want to show there's 2 things on this device that show you that this hasn't been tampered with. One is this intricate sticker. So I mean that I mentioned earlier. Then you also have this scratch off right here. That's kind of like something you'd see on a credit card, like a prepaid credit card, or like a lottery ticket. So there's 2 different things here. So for somebody who's talking, because my friend Ken Bozak was in Miami and confronted one of the people who were running the booth for Ballet, and we're talking about the idea that essentially this could be tampered with. And I want to talk about the idea of trust with security, and how somebody can know for a fact that this hasn't been tampered with, so that it's not compromised before it gets into their hands.
Yeah, okay. So as you have pointed out, a few things. So we acknowledge that to make this really simple, we actually create the components for the private key on this physical wallet. What I mean by that is we use a 2-factor private key. Think of a multi-sig. There's 2 parts, A and B. Okay, meaning you need both parts to make the private key. So think of private key as a longer piece, and the A and the B as 2. You need 2 of 2. You need both pieces. Okay. What we do is we split up the 2 pieces A and B into 2 locations. We do the A part on the bottom underneath the scratch off, and the B part is underneath the sticker. Okay. And I'm going to show you an example card where I've done the scratch off already. This card here, I've done the scratch off. So now you scratch with a coin or whatever metal thing, and then you see a laser etched lettering underneath it. And then for the sticker, you could peel it off. So I'm going to peel it off like this. You peel it off, and now you've revealed a yellow background with another QR code and another 3 rows of text.
Right.
Okay.
And that's your private key.
So again, that's the encrypted private key. That's the passphrase. The 2 together can make and create the private key. So this is for the geeks out there, for people who are really technical. Let me clarify this. This itself is not the private key, nor is this the private key. Okay, the A part on the bottom is not the private key. The B part on top is also not the private key.
But the combination
rather, the combination using an open standard called BIP38 This is the encrypted private key. This is the decryption passphrase, BIP38. This standard's been around for many years, almost 10 years, it feels like. So you could decrypt it, and then together, using open source software, using open standard. This is not Ballet proprietary. We did not create the standard. It was an open standard, which also means that you can do this decryption using non-Ballet software, right? And then by doing it, you could decrypt it to the actual, what they call a compressed wallet import format, WIF Bitcoin private key. So that's the actual private key. And that private key is what allows you to move the Bitcoins on the blockchain, which are attached to this address on the front. Okay.
I get it.
So a few things. So you get it, right? So now, because when we manufacture this, so this is the one that's been tampered with, and this is the one that has not been tampered with. You'll see. I'll put them side by side.
Yeah, it's like a kind of like a ridge that's in the sticker that's kind of been like where I guess the air underneath of it has been exposed.
Correct.
Kind of like has scales, like almost scales.
You see the hologram sort of residual.
Yeah.
So that when it's been peeled, it leaves behind a mark. Okay. So that's why the untampered one is much more pristine, and of course, a scratch off is one time as well.
Okay. That's
so
very
if you
cool.
receive, for example, so that's why if for example, Chris, you're my friend, I want to send you some Bitcoin. If I send it to you on this device, right? I put it here, I mail it to you, or I hand it to you in person. Then when you look at it, you can scan this on your Ballet app. You can see how much value there is, and you would be assured that this is genuine and has money on it. As if I give it to you like this, where it's been clearly been tampered with, right? And then it's been scratched off. Then if you were unassuming, if you don't know what you're doing, then you get caught.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean that's where I guess kind of that comes into play. And really, when it comes down to trust and security, when it comes to something like a hardware wallet or even cold storage, I mean, there is a layer of trust that you have to accept, because otherwise you have to go through the components of creating your own private key, which you can do, but it's not exactly very easy. It's not very user friendly. So
exactly.
I appreciate explaining that.
Yeah, exactly. So you touch on two very important topics. One is how we make the private keys, and there is a trust notion. I want to make it very clear to users, to yourself, and everyone worldwide that when our customers buy this brand new Ballet wallet from us through an authorized sales channel, you're getting a genuine Ballet wallet. You are implicitly trusting us as a manufacturer of this physical device. Okay, there's no getting around it. You're trusting us to do it. And the reason we're doing it for you is to make it easy for you and your friends and whoever wants to keep crypto. We're not saying put $10 million on here. Well, if you are sophisticated to put $10 million, you have your solutions, right? But for people who want $100, $300, $500 worth of crypto, they don't have the time to set up their own devices, right? They don't have the time to do this. Right. There's another fancy one.
There's tons of wallets out.
There's all these devices.
That's the open dime, right?
Yeah. So they work, right? Yeah. I own all of these devices. They work, okay?
Everything has its utility and use case.
Exactly, but these are hard. I have even other fancy ones like these things, like these NFC Bluetooth ones. You have to charge it up, battery. Yeah, like there's fancy paper wallets. You got
a plethora of wallets there.
Oh yeah, because I was trying to tell people that, and then of course this is the evil, right? This is the recovery sheet, right?
Right, where you would write down your recovery phrase.
This is the true evil. Now, even though I say this is evil, I use this myself. But the reality is, if you try to pass this to a new person and say, "Hey, here's how you store crypto, right? Let these 24 words, keep this safe, and then put it on these devices." Then it's really they're off into the deep end.
No, I agree. Now, this kind of also leads into talking about when you guys first launched Ballet. You launched this card, which is called the Real Series, and that was October of last year. And March of this year, if I'm not mistaken, is when you guys launched the Pro Series. Do you want to kind of quickly explain what the Pro Series is all about?
is great. I'm really proud of the name. Let me pull it out for you. I have a Pro Series right here.
And I myself have set up a Pro Series wallet. I haven't got the customizable card yet, but I've set it up.
Oh, okay, good. Have you ordered it? It's coming to you?
Well, I've talked to Robert and he's taking care of it, but I've got everything set up.
Excellent. It's going to come to you in I think within a few weeks.
So yeah, to let people know, you guys make a customizable card specifically for the Pro Series.
Exactly. This is called the Pro Series. This is what it looks like. It's blue. Okay, blue Pro Series. And Pro, it really is for professionals. Okay, what we mean by here is what's different about this than the Real Series is that the Real Series is a bearer asset, is a bearer instrument. Okay, some people asking me why we named ourselves Ballet. Ballet, you know, a nice way to think of it is it's a bearer asset wallet. So this wallet is a bearer asset, bearer instrument. If you put crypto on here, I don't care if it's $100 or $1 million. By the way, I don't recommend putting $1 million on there, right?
Right.
You know, put $100 or $1,000, let's say. I don't care if it's crypto or USDT or Ethereum. This becomes a valuable thing, and whoever has possession of this has that $1,000.
Right.
So I could give it to someone. Now, on the other hand, if I lose it, if it fell out of my pocket, then I'm out of luck. There's no backup. You know, I'm shit out of luck. There's no backup. Okay. So, and the reason it's a bearer asset is because everything that's needed to move those coins is on the wallet. As I've showed you, there's the sticker underneath it, and then the passphrase. So you don't need any memory of another external password. There's no SMS verification. There's no identity checking. There's no nothing else needed.
Just simple. Keep it simple.
Yeah, just simple. Now, for this guy, because some people are worried that, you know, they want to really have their own passphrase. They don't want Ballet involved in all aspects of their wallet. So what we've done here is this is what we call a standard BIP38 encrypted wallet. So underneath this sticker is still that same encrypted private key. It's still the same encrypted private key. Okay?
Right, but there's no scratch off on the bottom.
But there's no scratch off. What happens instead in the bottom is it's actually BIP38 confirmation code. Okay, so what happens is what used to be the scratch off would be the passphrase, decryption, but instead our users can order this wallet and create their own passphrase. They would be committed to memorizing it or writing it down or backing up somewhere. So Chris, you probably created your own passphrase, right. And what you do is you send us an intermediate code. This is not their passphrase, but this is a derivative of your passphrase, which can be sent in clear text. Which means that someone can look at it when you send it to me, and by looking at it, no one can figure out what your actual passphrase is. Even though you send it,
right, you need the combination of my unique passphrase with that intermediate code together to be able to unlock the private key.
Exactly. So basically, the intermediate code is public, if you will. It can be public. Okay. So you've done that, and then with the intermediate code, what I do is I create a BIP38 encrypted private key that goes underneath the sticker, and that one is uniquely locked to your passphrase. So this is really cool. It's cryptography, right? Meaning I can create a lock that only you can unlock. However, I've never seen your unlocking key. Think about that.
Right.
I can create a lock that can lock the crypto that can be unlocked by you, but I've never seen your key.
That's very cool.
This is BIP38. It's really cool.
Yeah,
so I don't know what your passphrase is. I have no idea what your passphrase is, but yet I can create this card with a private key that can only be unlocked by you. And this is proved by cryptography, open source, and stuff like that. Okay, so this is a Pro Series. Yeah, and we make this in blue color to be distinguishably different from the silver color. And the reason is this is a bearer asset. This is not a bearer asset, right? If I lost this, or if I give this to you as a gift, then you would have to commit to memory the passwords I give you. And you can test it and all that. But if you forget it, if you give it to your children, if you don't tell them the password, then they are SOL.
Right.
Because you can't get the coins out without that passphrase.
I think
so. This is what it looks like. Pro Series. Yeah.
The Pro Series is awesome, man. I really like this whole idea of using this the BIP38 technology. It's very cool.
Yeah. And one more thing is, for example, I don't mind sharing the public key. This is a demo unit, okay? So if people want to use the Ballet Crypto app, so the Ballet Crypto app is, hold on, here it is.
Yeah, I made sure I have my app as well, so in case I need to pull it up, because I think it's really cool that you can use the mobile app or a desktop app to be able to access your
Yes.
card. So when I would essentially just pull up my card, go up to the scan button, scan my QR code. I got to turn my camera around. But yeah, it's really cool the way that this works, man. I think that as far as
yeah, I'll demo something really cool for you. Okay, there it is. There it is. You have your card. Okay, so
I just don't
Chris,
have any
do me a
funds
favor.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry. So do me a favor. Do this. So go here, scan this card, scan this Pro Series card, and tell me when you've done.
Okay. I'm
so
done.
now, and by the way, when I do this live over the podcast with you, anyone watching it can scan it themselves. Right. One more time, you can scan it.
Okay.
With a Ballet Crypto, you search for Ballet Crypto in the Android, Google Play Store, or on the iOS App Store, and now you see it.
It comes
blue,
up
right?
with the Pro Series now.
Exactly. So there's no money in there. Okay.
No money,
now,
so you can't take any money, people.
in fact, I could send some money into it right now. Let me do that right now.
But no one will be able to access it without your
no one will get it. In fact,
passphrase.
I can even tell you the passphrase. Okay. So the passphrase for this is "I love you." Okay. All lowercase. So you click on the app. Click on what does it say? The BIP38 passphrase confirmation code. Click there.
And all lowercase. I love you.
And I love you. Do you see the screen where you can type it in there?
Yes, I do. I'll actually show everybody here so they see.
Yeah.
I'm in dark mode.
And then, type it in. I love you.
And I press done. Decrypt and verify.
And does it give you the check mark? Does it then show you have successfully decrypted?
I haven't pressed it yet. I'm getting ready to do it now.
Press it.
Yes, I have. It says right here at the very top of the screen.
Exactly. So our app using open source, the confirmation code that's printed on there, we can cryptographically verify that, hey, you've typed in the right passphrase. You've typed in the right passphrase. And of course, as the app and the company, we don't store your passphrase, but you can now check that this sticker was indeed locked to your passphrase. Okay. So by the way, I gave you the passphrase. You still can't steal my coins. And the reason is you can't steal my coins. The reason is I didn't peel this for you to see the private key underneath.
Right. Because you need the combination of all the
Exactly.
above. Okay. Exactly. So yeah, it's like that. When I was looking at it, the way that I understood it was basically like a customizable version of the Real Series that gives that extra layer of protection that the Real Series doesn't offer.
Correct. That's right.
Well, I think it's really cool. Let me ask you this. This is something I was thinking about even prior to just in general with cryptocurrencies and hardware wallets and cold storage. Do you think it would be possible to get some type of like insurance on these cards, on these cold storage cards, like up to a certain amount, or maybe some stipulation that talks about funds being moved without any tampering of the device or anything like that? Yeah. Is that a possibility?
So I think it is a possibility. We're trying to start some conversation with insurance companies, and we'll see. The insurance industry is sort of old school, right? They're very conservative, so it's hard for them to move very quickly. But we're certainly going to try and see if it makes sense. Yeah,
that's very cool.
Good idea. Yeah,
I would like to stay up to date with like how, so I'm obviously going to have to just keep paying attention because I think that would be a really cool development. Now, I mean, there's a lot of questions I have for you, and I don't want to keep you forever, so we're going to have to do a follow-up. But the last question I wanted to ask you before I hand it over to you is there anything new or any news or developments that we can expect with Ballet coming this year? Anything that you want to share with us on today's video?
Yeah. So, sure. I'll give. When you said it's going out Saturday.
It's going to be out this Saturday.
Okay. So I have something fun to share. I'll give you a preview. Let me see if I can load up the photos here, but give me a few seconds.
Cool. And I'll reiterate while you're doing that, make sure you're commenting on the video below so that you can get a chance to get your very own Ballet cold storage card. Going to get 3 random people I'm going to select on the 23rd of May. I will make that announcement, letting everyone know who won, and just going to use like a comment generator that people use to be able to determine the winner. So make sure you comment on this video so you can enter to win one of these Ballet cards. And they are really sweet. I really like this card. And I can't wait to get my Pro Series custom blue card because blue is my favorite color.
Yes.
I see pizza.
Yes. Hold on. I'm gonna hold on. Not yet. Not ready. I'm gonna prepare the images first.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's really cool that you've gone into that you one have been in a space for so long. I'm sure that selling that exchange, was very profitable and you didn't really need to stay in the industry. So I really
Yeah, exactly,
I
exactly. No,
appreciate
it's
you
true. It's true.
continuing to
I've
do
made
this.
my Yeah, I've made my millions, and starting this company is more of a passion to really contribute back to the ecosystem. And what I mean by contribute in this case is that we're bringing a real solution to the world where we think we can get mass adoption to the normal people. Because for normal people, normal people know how to keep physical things safe. They know how to store it, they know how to lock it up. But what they don't know how to do is keep passwords and passphrases. Human memory is fallible. They don't know how to do digital stuff. So I think this is much easier for the normal person. So I think, if we want to get to 1 billion people adopting cryptocurrency, I think this is a good way to get there. Now, I would be more than proud if my users, my customers, eventually upgrade these more fancy, more sophisticated devices. But for the first step, I think this is very easy
Yeah,
wallet
it's
to
like
use.
the beginner wallet, your first real wallet outside of having like a mobile application or something like that.
Exactly, exactly. Okay,
And
so I'm ready
speaking
to
of that, though, wasn't this the very first wallet that Ron Paul got to possess? I'm a big fan of
Oh yeah,
Ron
yeah,
Paul.
that's right. That's right. That's exactly, yeah. We give a
Yeah, you
Paul
guys
a
gave you guys
wallet.
gave him one at a luncheon or
Exactly.
something in Vegas.
So think exactly. Think of Ron Paul, right? He's very well respected, very well highly educated, very smart,
But
but
he's
he just
not
doesn't
tech.
have the
He's not a
time and
tech person at
energy.
all, though.
He's not. He's not. He won't have the time and energy to set up one of these guys, right? Or configure a phone with writing down 24 words, right? But whereas they models some Bitcoin coin, we just give it to him and he's good to go. And one day he can then do that and send it out, or he could give it to his children. It's great to pass it on to people to the next generation and so on and so forth. But I made this to be reliable so that these can go for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, put in a time capsule and come back out properly.
Awesome, I love it.
Okay, so the secret new thing is for Pizza Day, in memory of Bitcoin Pizza Day coming up on next Friday, okay, May 22nd. It's a 10-year anniversary. We have created, I'm going to move sideways, this new wallet called the Real Pizza. Do you see it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, it's a Real Pizza wallet. And the reason I made this theme is because this is to really, and by the way, this is what the cover looks like. Okay, so we have the one side of the box. It says Bitcoin Pizza Day, May 22nd, 10-year anniversary. And the other side is a small packaging that has a QR code exposed for the wallet. So essentially, this Pizza Day wallet is actually serves as a stealth wallet. So for the people who are interested, it serves as a stealth wallet so that there's no markings of Bitcoin on here, no markings of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency on the front nor the back.
Right.
So if you were to carry this with you in your own leather wallet next to the credit cards, and if you go across the border, border patrols, people, with prying eyes, they won't know that this is actually a cryptocurrency wallet. That's the bearer instrument, right? So they won't confiscate it from you, right? Whereas if you carry this real Bitcoin wallet,
What's
people
this
might go,
Bitcoin
oh,
logo?
this is Bitcoin,
Yeah,
you got to give it to me or something like that, right? So
that
this
makes
is
a lot of sense.
it's to commemorate the 10-year sort of Pizza Day anniversary, and also serve as a stealth wallet. Yeah, so it's to kill two birds with one stone.
It's also really, it's cool that you brought up the Pizza Day thing because just this whole week I think is like just so well, I guess it's like a 9-day period, but between the halvening, the third halving that we had,
Yes.
and then the Pizza Day, it would have been really cool if they could have fell on the same day. I know there was no way to do that, but it's really neat that they're so close together this time around. I think it's very cool. So
It is. Pizza Day is amazing. It's 10 years. Like, can you imagine how fast time flies?
well,
10
I think
years ago.
for you, I'm sure it
Yeah.
flies faster because what I've noticed is being in this space, I think time just happens to accelerate. So the fact that you've been in this space, a little bit longer than I have, I feel like this has just been like, it was like yesterday when you first got into this.
Yeah. So basically, if people recall the story, Laszlo, he paid someone 10,000 bitcoins for two
Yeah.
pizzas. 10,000 bitcoins. So obviously we're not going to charge 10,000 bitcoins for this wallet, but we're going to charge $69, and you get two pizza wallets. So we sell these in packs of two, just like how Laszlo got two pizzas. So these will be sold in packs of two. You'll get two pizza wallets for the good price of $69. which is
I
less
love
than
it.
10,000 bits, by the way. Yeah.
That's
So it's
very cool,
effective a
man.
million. Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And I
Good.
guess before we do wrap things up, was there anything I didn't talk about that you wanted to cover?
That's it. Actually, I didn't expect to talk about pizza today, but since you asked me for something new, I took this chance to share with you.
Well,
You're
I
the
just
first in the
figured.
world. You're the first in the world to know about this outside of the company.
Well, thank you, man. I thank you. I appreciate you sharing that. I mean, being that it's coming out Saturday, it kind of makes sense. And I definitely encourage people to order their very own Ballet wallet. But like I said, though, make sure you comment so you have a chance to win. I'm going to
Exactly.
announce that on the 23rd of May. Bobby, again, man, I really appreciate your time. I'm going to have links down below for everything that we talked about. And if you could just hold on for 1 minute, I'm going to wrap things up.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time ever checking out any of my content, be sure to explore my channel. If you like what I'm doing, you can support me by subscribing, hitting that like button, commenting, and sharing. And make sure you're checking out my Patreon channel. Follow me on Library where I post exclusive content. And as always, I encourage you to be the change by practicing change. And I love you all.